What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Hops Geek News, your home for comic books, movies, TV shows, and of course, we feature a beer of the week. Now, we're going to do a little bonus episode for you today where we talk about the first 10 episodes of season 7 of Supernatural. We were doing Spooky Fridays, Supernatural Fridays there for a bit. We fell off. I've been watching, I haven't been watching. However, I've pretty much wrapped up the season. So, we're going to do just a quick synopsis recap of the first half of season 7 for you. Real quick, I'm drinking Lady Justice. It's a Sandra Day IPA from that great brewery out of Aurora, Colorado. It's an IPA with notes of tropical and stone fruits. It's named in honor for the first female Supreme Court justice, coming in at 6%. And also, as always, hey, follow us, Hops Geek News, any podcasting platform, any social media platform. Make sure you follow us, help the podcast grow. Let's get into it, Lauren, shall we?
We shall. This is one of the most hated seasons with a lot of good episodes.
I don't know why. I'll be honest with you. I don't know why. Because I like.
We're not going to get into, but we're not going to get into some of the best ones because I feel like some of the best ones were later in this, but there's still some good stuff. And there's some great one-liners that even the people that hate this season quote.
It's true. So, season 7, episode 1, Meet the New Boss. Castiel believes he is the new god and becomes obsessed with power. Sam, Dean, and Bobby try to find a way to stop him before he explodes with power, even if that means talking to Death himself. The title is actually Meet the New Boss. It comes from the Who's song lyric, Won't Get Fooled Again. Grey Poupon, to distract a security guard, Dean asks him, excuse me, you got any Grey Poupon? It's a take on a famous 1980s commercial for the mustard brand.
Wait, I wanted to know if you knew what that was. Did you know what that was?
I know what the mustard is.
Oh, but did
Yeah.
you see the commercials?
No, I don't know what the
Nice. So you didn't get the reference when
No, I didn't.
I honestly I thought you might be too young for that. They even did it in Wayne's World, so it was these dumbass commercials. I remember them in the 90s where like these rich people would be in their limos and they would pull up to other rich people and they'd roll their window down and they would do the like thingy and they would, pardon me, do you have any Grey Poupon? And Dean comes around and says that. That's 100% a real thing. Those were real commercials. And Wayne does it in Wayne's World too, I remember. But when Dean does that and they're like, great, like Sam kind of looks at me, he's like, oh, it was the first thing I thought of. I died laughing, but I
mean, it's pretty random.
Vividly remember those commercials. It is random, but so were those fucking commercials. They were so stupid. Like rich people are just like driving around eating Grey Poupon on their sandwiches.
Yeah, that's obviously what they're doing in their fancy little cars and stuff. Clearly. Yeah, no, I don't know why I forgot that like the Leviathans were always back in the season. I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really remember the first 10 episodes too well, but this is kind of jogging my memory. So,
but this is also the one where you, or maybe it's not. I'm jumping ahead. Go ahead.
Season 7, episode 2 is Hello, Cruel World. Now, I do remember, though, Castiel was a bad guy to start off because he went drunk with power. He wanted to rule heaven for himself, and it got kind of wonky. He ends up breaking Sam's.
But I don't feel like he did it for himself. He did it because he thought that he could.
He thought he was doing the right thing.
But Castiel always has good intentions.
Yeah, he's a bad guy, but he's really a bad guy. Come on.
No, Cass doesn't have it in him.
It's not Cass. He's just a puppy who thought he was doing the right thing. All right.
Yeah, sometimes puppies bite.
Yes. In the second episode, Hello, Cruel World, the Leviathans begin their plans to consume everyone who dwells on Earth. While Dean and Bobby try to track them down, Sam is still haunted by Lucifer, who only he can see or hear because Castiel basically broke the dam that was holding Lucifer and all those memories back. And
damn it, Cass
was being a real dick, though. Like, let's call a spade here. Cass was being a real asshole. And as a result, Sam's kind of losing his brain, his mind. And then also the Leviathans are kind of like, again, I don't really know why they get a lot of hate. Like they open their mouths real wide, I guess. Is that a hate? Like they look like
there's a funny reference later on where it's like, really? You don't like the teeth? They're all teeth?
Yeah.
But I don't want to say this that
I don't know. It's not terrible. But this during the scene when Cass starts sleeping with a Leviathan blood actor, what?
During the scene when Cass starts seeping with Leviathan blood, the actor Misha Collins was actually sick and was throwing up between takes, which probably worked well because he looked gross and like, wasn't,
because he wasn't creepy. Himself. That's what happens when you're possessed.
Yeah, you're not all yourself.
Yeah, no, I totally forgot that as well, to be honest with you. Now, Episode 3, The Girl Next Door. No, not the movie. It's
It was a
directed.
fun movie. Probably didn't age
Yes.
well, but it was a fun movie. Oh, it had Riddler
It
in it.
had it did. It did. Paul Dano was in it. It had Elizabeth, is that her name? I don't remember now. But it was a good movie way back in the day. And now the boys lay low after a brush with Leviathans, but life in the slow lane just is not for Sam. While hunting for a serial killer, he meets an old flame. Who's that
Aw,
old
this one with
flame?
the flashbacks. This is the okay, so this is the one. This is my least favorite episode of all 15 seasons, other than the finale, because I hate this is the one where Dean kills that mom.
Oh God! Yeah. Okay. Yes. See, that's all I had to say because okay, Dean kills the mom in front of the son, the her kid, essentially because she's a demon of sorts, like a creature, and he doesn't trust her. Not, and she was like killing people, but
Well, so she needed to eat part of the brain or something like that to
she was
stay
working in the
alive. But she
mortuary.
became a mortician, right? So she could eat the dead ones. But then her son got sick. And to save her son, he had to eat live or fresh brain.
Yeah,
However, she was picking out bad guys. So she was dextering it basically.
she wasn't in the wrong. First of all,
No.
I don't blame her. I would have let her go. However,
Who would
Dean,
not have done that for their kid even if they weren't a monster?
yeah, and this is what's very out of character for Dean because he kills her right in front of the kid, and it's just like, dude, what? Like that's
I feel
very out of
like
character for him.
I feel like if Sam hadn't been a little out of it then with the whole seeing Lucifer thing, I feel like he might have ignored it. But I think that he was so concerned that Sam wasn't in the right mindset to make the right decision that he made this
Yeah, that's
decision.
fair.
But I do think that, I mean, that weighs on Dean. You see that in the future episodes. Like, I do think that he regretted it immediately. And I
Because
also
he turns
think
around, the kid's standing right there, and then he just like ditches the kids, like, "We'll see each other someday." Like, what?
he asked, he goes, "Do you have anywhere you can go?"
Come
But
on, that was out of pocket.
I will say, I wish we had seen the kid again in the future. Like, I think that
Oh,
would have
you
been
never see
interesting.
him again?
We don't ever see him again
Yeah,
now.
that's lame. That's
Yeah. And
boo.
when we get to where I would have liked to have seen him, I'll say that, but I don't want to ruin anything else.
Yeah.
But I did love the fun fact here. There's a couple good fun facts here. Did you pick up the one fun fact?
Amy Pond?
Yeah.
Of course I did. That's the love of my
Like, that's a
life.
cute name. I love that Sam goes like, cute name.
Yeah. And now where the scene where Dean is at the convenience store, the man behind the counter is wearing a shirt of Batman under the Red Hood, which Jensen was the voice of the Red Hood
Bum,
for.
bum, bum.
And then when the Leviathan credit card accountant is on the phone with the customer, he mentions the charge to Mistress Magda. In the episode Swan Song, Dean calls Chuck. He answers thinking it's Mistress Magda.
Oh, when he thought the world was ending, Chuck called, I supposed to Chad. Chuck
Yes,
called Mistress Magda.
he does. That's pretty good. Now, episode 4, Defending Your Life. While investigating a string of murders, Sam and Dean are led to the courtroom of the Egyptian god Osiris, and one of the brothers is put in the dock. Now, in this episode, Sam mentions he saw an objection from the trial of the good wife, which Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who plays John Winchester, Sam and Dean's father, went on to play Jason Krause on that very same show a few years later.
So there's like three, at least three that I can think of nods to Jeffrey Dean Morgan. And like they did a nod to Grey's Anatomy. They eventually do one to Walking Dead, you'll
Yeah,
see.
I forgot he was in Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, he was Denny. That was
Yeah.
back when I still watched the show. Haven't watched that show in probably a decade now. It got real bad. It just, I kept repeating the stories and it
It
wasn't
still
great
repeats the
anymore.
stories. Not great. Never mind. We've talked this about 5 different times. Every time it comes up somehow.
Why does it keep coming up?
I have no idea. Okay. I
Probably because
vaguely
John
remember this
Winchester was
episode,
Denny.
but yeah,
This one was interesting because you get Joe makes an appearance.
that's right. Yes, Joe does. She kind of comes back. It's always good seeing Joe. I do miss Joe and all of them, but yeah, other than that, that's because she was like the blaming Dean and stuff like that, and she was real mean and everything, right?
Well, she wasn't being mean. She was doing what she had to do. And she was, she was on trial basically. And it
That's
was interesting
right.
when he brought her to essentially kill him and he sets up the salt line and she's like, I hunted ghosts, Dean. I know how this works. I know how to defeat this. So she didn't have a choice. She didn't want to do that though. Like Joe was
Yeah, that's
still,
right. I miss
yeah.
Joe.
So it was hard
Those two
for
should have ended
her.
up together.
always felt like they were more of an older brother, younger sister. I felt like she was
No,
a little too young for him,
no,
but
you're wrong.
yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, shut up, Dr. Phil. That's the name of episode 5, where Dean and Sam read about the 2 bizarre death cases in Prosperity, Indiana. And then they head there to the town to investigate, which is where they try to find something common in the cases when the owner of a construction company is murdered by a nail gun that had operated without available power.
This was one of those I had to look away. The nail gun goes into the guy in the
Yeah, it's
porta
pretty
potty.
gruesome, man. What a
Yeah.
way to go, huh?
But this was also the one where they save them from a leviathan at the end. Like the guy shows up and
Yeah,
he's a witch too, which was kind of a fun little spin. They're like, you need to get away from her. It was like the most toxic relationship ever.
as they are. The best ones are, aren't they?
And they give like Jensen the bees around his head.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. I forgot about the bees.
The bees, not the bees,
The
not the
bees in the
bees.
trap. Now, episode 6, which is slash fiction.
You skipped my one single fun fact.
Oh, what was your fun fact? I'm sorry.
I don't remember. I might not be updating the doc fast enough.
Okay. Well, Jenny Klein was
Jenny
actually a writer.
Klein, she's the girl with the hearts. And yeah, she was actually a writer on the show. And we do see her kind of show up later.
All right. Well, slash fiction, episode 6. Murderous clones of Sam and Dean are created. The Winchester brothers become wanted men. Sam and Dean turn into a quirky surveillance expert. They turn to a quirky surveillance expert, Kevin R. McNally, for help. I don't remember these episodes.
This is the one where the Leviathan were like Sam and Dean, and they look just like Sam and Dean. This is when they had to stop driving Baby around. They had to lock up Baby, and they're sitting in the diner. But it's funny because they're sitting in the diner, and you know when a Leviathan comes, somebody they can take their memories and their likes and their dislikes and all that. Like they know it, and so he's the fake Dean is eating the burger, and he's like, this guy eats burgers every day, and he's so self-righteous. And then the Sam guy's like, well, at least you don't eat dead plants with goo on them. And he's like, I had one of them, I think it was Sam's Leviathan character, is like, I used to have a brother like that. You know what I did? I ate him. And then the fake Dean's like, of course you did. And it's funny because I've seen things where people are like, this is a real scene, this is real dialogue. And if you didn't watch the show, it would be very confusing.
Yeah. Interesting.
But yeah, that was, and then they get captured and they're in the jail, and then the fake ones show up, and then Bobby learns about the borax and how to fight them, and he's trying to like
asleep during this episode. I'll be honest with you, because we get froggy at night and we decide we're gonna watch something, and then it doesn't take me long. Like you might get me through one episode a night, and then I get old man and fall asleep. So I think that's what happened here.
So one fun fact I did learn, I actually learned this from watching clips from like conventions. They have to go into the bank. Remember, it starts the episode story. You had to have seen this, where they go into the bank and they shoot it up. And Dean's like flirting with the girl, and she's like, sure, I'll do this. And then they're like, don't be a hero. Your money's insured. So when they went in and they had to shoot it up, Jared is tall. He's your height. He's 6'4". And so they're like, you got to bring the gun down further so we can see it in the frame. And because he had to like pull it down, it actually like some of the casings like shot, the ejected shells like hit him because how they came, and it like hurt him.
That's kind of
so
funny.
Yeah, there's a couple injuries they've talked about. Apparently there was an episode where Jensen stabbed Jared in the leg.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you take us through the last 4 episodes of the season?
Oh geez. Okay. So after Slash Fiction, we have The Mentalists, and a strange Sam and Dean reunite to solve a curious case in the most psychic town in America, but it's far from happy families for the Winchester brothers. So this is the one with the spoon bender. Remember, they went their separate ways because Sam had found out about
yes,
Amy Pond.
Yes.
Yeah. So they went there, but they both show up on the same case with the psychics are dying.
Yes.
And it's the guy who, okay. I don't have any fun facts yet. I have to pull that up.
No fun facts. Well, episode 8.
I'm sure there's some. You can go to episode 8.
For a wedding. While on a hunt, Sam encounters someone from his past, and then Dean teams up with a quirky hunter named Garth.
This is our first introduction of Garth. You don't like Garth?
I don't remember Garth.
What? Garth? You need to go back and rewatch. I
have to rewatch this. Oh my god.
Garth, come on, man. You've been Garth. It's the skinny dude from New guy, road trip.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh
It's
my
the one where
God.
Sam gets married to
Yes.
Becky and
Yes.
she's got
Oh
him like
my God.
hypnotized with the guy from Hamilton.
Okay.
I
It's
think it's the
coming
guy from
back to me now.
Hamilton. Leslie Odom Jr.
Okay. It's coming back to me now. But yeah. Okay. And I remember because he pops up later on again.
Yes, Garth is a reoccurring character.
Oh, perfect. I do love him because I haven't seen that actor in a long time. Funny enough, like whatever happened to him, I wonder.
No, he does cons and stuff with them in Supernatural.
Does
He was in the
he?
last season of Supernatural. You'll see more of him.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, no,
All
he
right.
seems like a good dude.
Well, in episode 9, we have How to Make Friends and Influence Monsters. Dean, Sam, and Bobby head to a town in New Jersey where the remains of locals have been found after the attack of a creature that they believe might be a Jersey Devil. Love the Jersey Devil. Dean and Sam interview the ranger Rick Evans, who seems to be stoned, man, at the Big Garrison's restaurant, and then they have lunch with Bobby. Dean eats the Big Garrison sandwich with 3 different meats, and as soon as he shows strange behavior, Sam and Bobby learn that the sandwich is affecting the locals, and they decide to investigate the supplier
Turducken.
and discover that the part of a Leviathan experiment led by Dick Roman. When Bobby is captured by 4 Leviathans, Dean and Sam question how they can rescue Bobby. Now I remember the meats. I do that one. Not very
That's
Arby's of them.
no. So going to Time for a Wedding, there actually are a couple fun facts. When Sam was married to Becky, he's wearing his actual wedding ring. The tweets Becky did, which were super stupid, are actually still out there on the Twitter under the account Super Becky Rosen. And Garth is actually mentioned in season 6, The Weekend at Bobby's. He gets a call for advice on a vampire he's hunting, and we hear just Bobby's side of the conversation. They do that a lot in the show where they only have the one side, so then they don't have to bring the actor in.
Obviously,
Like
yeah.
they do that with Bobby. They in the future they do that with Garth, where they oh yeah, I talked to Garth, or they're on the phone with Garth. So that's fun. But yeah, this is the one where Dean's like super high, and it's kind of funny. He's like, I don't care that I don't care.
Yeah, this was a funny one because the meat was all affecting him and things. So I remember that one.
And then when the server calls him the Ken doll.
Oh,
I think he calls Sam Big Bird.
Something
and
like
then
that.
Was he called Bobby like grandpa with a heart condition or something? I don't remember. But here's some fun facts. Bobby asked Sam, aren't you just full up playing Snuffleupagus with the devil all the live long? Okay, that's not really a fun fact. Does everybody know who Snuffleupagus is?
Yeah, he's from Sesame Street, man.
Right, so that's not a fun fact.
Well, take us into episode 10, Death's Door.
Did you get the flare joke?
What flare joke?
What's got his flare in a bunch?
No.
That's from Office Space.
Ah.
You don't have enough flair. There's a lot of fun, cute little nods in this one. All right, so Death's Door, the last one we're going to talk about. I think the end of 7 should be better because you were texting me during some of those episodes, and some of those are fantastic episodes. But yeah. All right. So this one, Death's Door, as Sam and Dean race the clock on a high-stakes mission, Bobby seeks the help of an unlikely friend to solve one of the most personal cases of his life. This is when he's running from the Reaper. So Bobby is going from room to room in his own mind. He's with Rufus. And the Reaper, I really like this Reaper because he's very much so like, Bobby, you've done enough. You don't need to do anymore. But he got that information before he was shot by Dick that he needs to get to the boys.
Yeah, so it's very important. And this is also kind of like him reconciling everything he's done in his life too. And is this the episode where he dies?
Yeah.
Dang. And I'll be honest, I didn't think it was gonna be a permanent death, but apparently it is. That's bullshit.
Have you finished? You haven't finished. Oh, you've seen him come back. He comes back as a ghost.
Yeah, he does come back with the other hunter great lady. Yeah.
Yes. What I will say with Bobby, I think they find a way one way or another to make it so Jim Beaver is in at least one episode of every season.
Good.
So
that's all I care about. We're good. We're square.
Yeah, you'll see Jim Beaver again. And if you really need more Jim Beaver, he is also Robert Singer. In The Boys. He's Dakota Bob. Right.
Now,
there aren't too many super fun ones. Go ahead.
Not my best work for the first part of the season. I apologize. I'll be better in the second half. We're good. I'm a second half player.
As of 200 episodes in, Jared Padalecki said Death's Door was his favorite episode. I liked seeing Rufus again. I like Rufus.
Rufus is cool too. I do like seeing him again. So, yeah. All right.
But yeah, the
Supernatural,
next half of
folks.
this will be, we're going to have fun with the second half of season
We
7.
will. And this season gets too much hate. I don't believe in the hate. Go follow along with us. Supernatural's back, baby.
And we're very close to meeting Benny.
Benny
I
and the
love Benny.
Jets. So
Benny
thanks for hanging
and
out,
the
guys.
Jets.
We will see you soon. Peace out, Girl Scout.